So what's up, everyone? Back for this Monday slate. Hope you guys all had a good Sunday of baseball. Let's jump right into it. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. Yesterday, we had the most views I've ever had on any of my baseball videos, and the core was solid except for Pineda. Still managed to put up a 160.6 on DraftKings thanks to a mini Padres stack in Machado. Tatis and Hedges put up a 28. Who would have thought that Hedges would have put up the most fantasy points in this lineup? But that's how baseball is sometimes. It's nuts. We'll definitely take it a 160.6 on DraftKings, and FanDuel was a 150.1. So cashed on both formats. DraftKings cashed like top 5, top 3% in some tournaments. So if you want to join us for baseball, you can visit the website. Links in description. You can get the full lineups for that. We also have a NFL early bird specials already posted. Yesterday, you guys also almost got 200 likes on the video, which was mind-blowing. So I really appreciate all the love, and I was glad that the picks were pretty solid, especially all the hitter picks. So let's try to do the same thing today. You can drop a like and subscribe. And let's try to get over 100 likes again. I think I might have said that already. But anyway, let's start off at pitcher. Today it's kind of a weird slate in that there's not a ton of great options. It's only I think 7-game slate for Monday. Yeah, 7-game slate. Giolito's your most expensive option. Going into Fenway at almost $12,000, that is a tough price tag to sell in cash games. The Red Sox have a high total too, so Vegas isn't buying Giolito here. I think it makes sense for tournaments, not something you want to build bank on in cash games. Kershaw's fine at 10-4. I don't mind him. I'll go a little cheaper here and play like John Gray in San Francisco. He's 9,800. I like the matchup for him. Obviously, going outside of Colorado here, the ballpark upgrade is massive for him. The Giants' offense isn't great, although they've been decent as of late. I still would take Gray over their offense if I had to choose one. Gray's been really good with the strikeout stuff. The Giants do strike out a decent amount against righties. And at 9,800 with the lack of pitching options, I think he makes sense as a building block. Also, don't mind Rodriguez here at 8,700 if you want to go a little cheaper than John Gray. He's been good this year, even though his ERA is high at 4.71. He's been good just because he's been good with the strikeouts, and he just manages to get out of trouble. And he's been winning a bunch of games. He already has 8 wins on the season. So that's, he's always going to have a higher floor just because he plays for the Red Sox. But going up facing like Giolito here, I'm not convinced that he's going to get the win here. So I don't mind him obviously at 87, but I think John Gray makes a little more sense if you want a solid safer option. And then obviously I'm not going to play Greinke against. I think you can play Greinke if you want to for GPPs, but for cash, I think you can stay away from Greinke. Absolutely no interest in any of the pitchers in Chicago because it's going to be a Wrigley wind game. You want to load up on all the bats in this game. 16-mile-per-hour winds projected to be blowing out here in Wrigley. With 2 pitchers that give up a decent amount of fly balls. None of the totals are released yet for either team, but I would not be shocked. I expect both teams to be over 5 at least. Won't be shocked if both teams are approaching 6 runs because Wrigley wind games are the best for DFS. And my second pitcher I'm going to go with is going to be CC Sabathia. Like the price tag on him at 7,100. He's been good more times than not this year. Coming off of his best start of the season against Tampa Bay where he went 6 innings, just had 3 hits given up, 7 strikeouts. The splits are massive with him, home and road splits. At home this year, he has a 2.18 ERA, which is obviously outstanding. On the road, he's gotten into a lot of trouble with a 6.3 ERA. Playing at home, facing Aaron Sanchez, he has a massive 2.4 run favorite as of now. The Blue Jays are, their offense hasn't been great all season. They've been a little better as of late, but I'll still take CC Sabathia at a nice price tag, given the massive favorite that he is and given the relatively low total for the Blue Jays. So those are the pitchers I like for this slate. Still leaves you with 4,100 left for the hitters. Like I said, I have a ton of interest in the Chicago game. Game stack that game if you want. Throw in a few Yankees against Aaron Sanchez just because he's terrible as of late. The Yankees' offense is outstanding. They should hit a couple more bombs off of Sanchez. I'm going to start it off here at second base. I really like Ozzie Albies here. He's pretty cheap here at just 4,300. He's been on a tear this month of June. Batting average is up to 282. He has 6 stolen bases. Been hitting for a lot of power this month. We know Ozzie Albies mashes left-handed pitching. I love the spot here for Ozzie Albies. Even though he bats near the bottom of the order, that's you're getting him at a lower ownership, which I'll definitely take. In the Wrigley win game, seems like a really good bet here at just 4,300. Massive splits for him too. 370 batting average this year against left-handed pitching. In 73 at-bats, he has an impressive 219 ISO with a 589 slugging percentage. He only has a 5.3% strikeout rate. That is mind-blowing here. 18.4% K rate against righties, but against lefties, 5.3%. Fangraphs is my favorite tool to use to figure out which hitters I want. Definitely want Ozzie Albies here. He has been hammering left-handed pitching. 47.1% hard hit rate, 40% medium contact rate. And Lester has been pretty bad against righties in terms of he's been bad as of late, and against righties he has been the advanced number signal that you should get lit up here with facing a really good Braves offense that all hits left-handed pitching really well. So Lester's been decent as you just look at his splits in terms of power, but as you see, righties have a 484 slugging off of him. The advanced numbers signal that righties should be much better with a 4.38 xFIP. And he gives up a bunch of fly balls to righties with a 39.6% fly ball rate. Facing all these righties in the wind here. Love the spot for Ozzie Albies to start it off. Next up, we're going to go with... Forgot to talk about first base, but I like Anthony Rizzo here. We'll go backwards. Rizzo's at 4,600. He's been hitting the ball pretty well as of late. He absolutely crushes right-handed pitching. Tehran, his struggles over his career has been against lefties, and Rizzo is just tremendous against righties. Hitting in the Wrigley wind, think he can go yard or at least have a couple hits here. He's not overly expensive at all at 46, and he has a 295 average against right-handed pitching. 16 of his 19 home runs have come against righties. He has a crazy 290 ISO, just a 13.9% K rate, a 585 slugging percentage. He crushes the ball, 45.1% hard hit rate, and hits the ball more in the air with a 37% fly ball rate. Tehran has been bad against lefties for his entire career. He's been a little better this season if you just look at his general numbers, but if you look at his advanced numbers, he's getting pretty lucky against lefties. And I think that this is the matchup where everything just falls apart for him. I'm expecting him to get rocked. He has a 5.68 xFIP. 83.9% left on base percentage is kind of a signal for that. Should be giving up way more home runs against lefties. He has a 41.6% hard hit rate. Love Anthony Rizzo here at 4,600. Going into the outfield, going to go with Ronald Acuna, another guy on the Braves who mashes left-handed pitching. Acuna has been hitting the ball so well this month of June. I think he can stay hot here against Lester. I'll just show you the numbers for him. Albies, Acuna, Riley, they all crush lefties. Even Freeman's a good hitter against lefties. Acuna has a 308 batting average against lefties with 5 home runs and just 65 at-bats. 292 ISO, 600 slugging percentage, just a 19% K rate. And he has a 52% hard hit rate, hits the ball so hard against lefties. Love the spot here for Ronald Acuna. He's been so good this month. The month of June, he's batting .319 with 6 home runs in 20 games. Lots of power leading off. Should get at least 5 at-bats, maybe even 6. And last but not least, I love Kyle Schwarber here. Just underpriced. 3,900 is too cheap. Playing in these conditions. Perfect weather for hitting. Schwarber's been leading off for the Cubs the last month and a half, and he's been pretty productive. Should get plenty of at-bats here, and we know Schwarber has a lot of power against right-handed pitching. So, show you the numbers for Schwarber. I'm expecting him to do some damage here. Schwarber, this year, he has 13 of his 16 home runs have come against righties. He has a 243 ISO. Even though the the batting average isn't great against righties, I still would take him just because of the matchup here. He hits everything pretty hard. Not a lot of soft contact with him. And career-wise, he's been much better against righties with a career 237 average. He barely hits the ball against lefties. He's been hitting the ball pretty well this season against lefties, but it's a small sample size. Keep that in mind. The numbers should even out. But he has a 264 career ISO and a 502 career slugging percentage against right-handed pitching. He's also been much better at home. Love Schwarber here. He's underpriced. So those are the picks I like, the 6 picks. Thanks for watching. You can drop a like if you enjoyed. And like I said, I like the Yankees a lot. That's the other team I want to focus on. Giancarlo Stanton stands out a ton at 4,500. He's pretty cheap. As does Didi Gregorius at 3,700. That is dirt cheap. I don't mind paying up for Encarnacion, Voit, Torres, but if you want to pick on some value, Didi Gregorius, Stanton are the 2 value plays that stand out. And I like some Rockies bats too, like Ian Desmond at 4,400. He's been on an absolute tear as of late. To show you the numbers for Desmond, he's been crushing the ball, especially against lefties. He's been on fire this season. You can look up the numbers for yourself if you want to, but he's been so good. His batting average was 230 a couple weeks ago, and now it's up to 281. He has 10 home runs. He just had a 4-for-4 game the other day. He's hitting the ball really well, and he's facing Pomeranz, who struggles against righties. So I like Desmond, and I like Arenado from the Rockies. And I'll see if any other team kind of sticks out. Not much, so it's a pretty easy slate in terms of figuring out who you want to play for your hitters. This is what I like. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and good luck today.